We're live. Welcome. It's Moon Day. So excited to be here. Let's do this. How are you doing? How was your weekend? Where to begin? Where to begin? Let me check this out. Okay, so we have a lot happening. We have good astrology happening this week, and we have the new moon that just happened yesterday. And this is the week, I feel like, where really focusing on what we are manifesting, bringing to life, dreaming big. What is it that we want to accomplish? What is it that we want to finish or do? This is the week. And if you're in astrology, let me just set myself up over here. I just don't want to fall. If you're an astrology bestie, then you might already know about the Lionsgate portal, which is, on August 8th. And this year it's not just August, the 8th month on the 8th day, but 2024 also adds up to 8. So if you're into numerology, then, or the law of threes or triplets, right? If you're into that kind of lore, then the Lionsgate portal already has significance or depth to it, because you're already going to find this symbolism. But without diving into the numerology of it all, because my numerology book is packed away, think about the infinity symbol. Think about how energy just flows and how we ebb and flow. And there's times to create and times to produce and times to build. And there's also times to plant and tend and nurture to what later on becomes something else. And this Lionsgate portal is being ushered in with a new moon that just opens up a brand new, lunar cycle. And so the air is primed for new beginnings and new just openings, opportunities. Jupiter is involved this week, and Jupiter is the planet of expansion, growth, luck. And I'm not saying that you're gonna get some sort of strike of luck this week, but it is all in all a positive type of embalming type of vibe that, in my opinion, kind of counters the Mercury retrograde that we're about to discuss, because it's Mercury retrograde. We're here and it's happening, and it's going to be retrograde until August 28th. So it's pretty much all month long. So welcome. I'm so grateful that you're here. Let me know how your weekend was down in the chat, and what are you looking forward to this week? Let's officially begin. Welcome. My name is Graciela Moore. I am an ICF personal coach, and I love to create content and write. I wrote Moon Magic and Mindfulness with Grace 2024 Manifestation Agenda / Journal. This is the second edition, and it is August, which means I am already putting together next year's agenda. And I'm so excited about that, and so grateful for this whole journey and all of these conversations that we get to have by following the book and by doing the thing. And the thing today is this new moon that we had yesterday in Leo. So the moon is in Leo, right? By now it's in Virgo. It's Monday night, and by now the moon is in Virgo. I don't know how your Monday was, but I had to stop myself a few times from wanting to frantically, I feel like frantically is the word that really goes with how I felt this morning. I felt the urge to clean and organize and purge, and I looked at the clock and I'm like, it's only 8:15. I didn't understand where the angst to do it all so quick came from this morning, until I realized that it's a new moon in Leo ushering into, or going into the crescent into Virgo. But we had a large void of course moon for about 5 hours today, and I haven't brought that up on social media in a while, so maybe I will next time. But the void of course kind of adds a layer of chaos to it all, really, because void of course just means that the moon is not engaging with any other planetary bodies as it goes from one sign to the next, and it's a time to pause. It's a time to very much reflect, which is what Mercury is going to ask us to do in the next 4 weeks or 20 some days. And so, wait, today's the 5th, so the next 23 days. There you go. And so, yeah, today was interesting. And how are you feeling? The moon in Virgo will want, or usually wants to, ask us or invite us to create, or not to create, but to organize what we're trying to create. Virgo is the organizer, the one that makes sense of things. It is ruled by Mercury. And so let's talk about Mercury retrograde, shall we? And that's even before we begin with the astrology of the week, or with the moonology of the week. But welcome, Peter, big boy. Welcome, healthcare. Welcome, Sebastian Torres. So happy that you're here. And so, Mercury retrograde. So Mercury governs or rules, or it's the planet that, correlates to how we communicate and what we communicate. It is also telecommunications. So internet, emails, phone calls, texts, GPS, airplanes, all of that is ruled by Mercury. Now, the whole Mercury thing is obviously a term that a human decided to, right, slap on this whole planetary situation. And the best way that I like to describe it in terms that make sense to me is to imagine this massive planet, no matter what the planet is, because they all retrograde except us, which I think is really interesting. So maybe I need to dig more into that. But I like to imagine that instead of just going, do you remember science, right? Do you remember when you were in school and you did that science experiment of the sun in the center, and then, the planets in foam, and they either spun around, or they were all in a, kind of realistic way. And it showed where they are in their lanes. I like to call them lanes, right? And so the Mercury, or the retrograde, I should say, the way I imagine it is the planet, instead of going into this lane that's already kind of set for it to go around in this galaxy, decides to kind of slow down, do its own thing. It reminds me of that void of course moon, right? Except we can't call them the same. But all of that to say that if the planet stands for something or correlates to something like communication, telecommunications, how we translate our thoughts into words, our thoughts, our conversations, right? If a planet stands for those things, then the retrograde kind of contradicts it, is an opposition, or it just becomes challenging. And first thing today, on the day right after we started this retrograde, my husband texts me and says, I don't know what's up with this printer, but it's not printing what I needed to print. And I said, oh, Mercury's retrograde, so take a deep breath and wait and see. Communication might just be kind of slow between your enter button and that printer that just decided to take a little longer today. What a coincidence, right? Like, out of all the days, it decides to take its time on the day that Mercury's retrograde. So these are the things that I like to observe, right? What else happened today? You may miss a call. Important emails might go into junk. So watch for the emails that you are waiting on. If you have paperless bills that arrive on your inbox, then, I'm not trying to predict things. I'm just trying to imagine what some of these scenarios might be, because the more I think of options, or the more I look of ways that it could go, the better I can prepare, right? That's just how my brain works. So if you have bills that arrive in your email and maybe they end up in the junk folder, then you might miss, right, that deadline or grace period. And so that's a miscommunication of sorts. Also, retrograde, I have a list here of things that you might be invited to do. People coming out of the woodwork wanting to reconnect. That might happen. And as we know, in this community where a few of us have experienced toxic or just kind of very damaging relationships, no contact may be one of those boundaries that you have really fought for or struggled to set, and then, practice what that looks like. And Mercury retrograde might be one of those times of the year, happens 4 times a year, where you might think about reconnecting with this person. And so the question then becomes, I'm not going to tell you what to do. How do you uphold your own boundary or not? And then how are you going to uphold the boundary if that person decides on their end, because they're also experiencing the Mercury retrograde, if that person decides to reconnect with you, then how are you going to hold those boundaries or not? And so these are the things, right? Mercury retrograde is also a great time to go back to a project that you may have, I don't know, left or forgotten about, or that needs tweaking and refining. All the redoing, all the revisiting, all of the reevaluating, that's what retrogrades do, especially Mercury, because it's the one that, governs how we think and what we think. So it can be tricky if it's a different planet. And of course, the closer the planet to the Earth, the more we're going to feel those retrogrades. We don't really, we discuss Pluto retrograde, but Pluto is an outer planet. It's not like Mercury, who's like right there, right? High five, Mercury. So all of that. Let's talk about the moon. Double fire with the moon in Leo yesterday and the sun in Leo. So how are you feeling? Here's the thing about fire. Fire is great. Fire keeps us warm. Fire is the mother of inventions. Fire is the word, but fire burns and it consumes everything. And they don't call it burnout for no reason. So this is also a time to kind of relax and remember to slow down when our body is ready to slow down, and to properly rest and hydrate, right? What do the firemen do? They bring the water to take care of the fire, to either contain it or put it out. And so if you have strong fire placements in your birth chart, then maybe you're no stranger to burnout. Maybe you know exactly what I am saying because you're either living it or lived it, or you're currently in recovery from it. So those are the things to think about. Even if you don't have strong fire placements in your chart, you could still feel that excitement of let's do, because it's the Lionsgate portal. It's time to manifest, time to stop wasting time. That moon in Virgo wants me to purge, wants me to clean, wants me to organize, but then you'll be exhausted. And there's that, flame just extinguishing. So watch how you're, moving about in your life. And look at this. Look who got into my journal today. Somebody did. So in this book, you are invited to plan out your week starting on moon days. You get a space to journal openly. this moon day. You're asked, what are you going to make sure that you're going to do this week? What is the one thing that is at the top of the list this week? And sometimes for me, that's something on the physical realm, like packing, making an appointment, or going to the thing. You know, this week I'm not going to forget this appointment that I have. But other times, like this week, the goal of the week is to keep my cool. I guess we can check in on how that's going, you know, by Thursday. So ask me how I'm doing, or maybe I'll let you know. But some of the things that are happening really get us going in either conversation or action. And then we're like, wait a minute, we're getting ahead of ourselves. If you're living in a state of, you know, wait, I'm getting ahead of myself, pump the brakes, you know, I'm too excited over this, pump the brakes, then those are the types of signs. I feel like, in my opinion, you let me know how this resonates. In my opinion, those are the kinds of signs, you know, that the universe is telling you to slow down, to pause, to detach so that you can see things with perspective. So, how does that resonate? Do I have pets? I do have pets. We have 2 dogs. So, this week I will create. I'm still working on that. I do have more content here, but you know, more content as the goal, but it really all depends on our personal life and some of the things that are happening. And I am grateful for all of you, so grateful for all of you. Here we are again on another Lionsgate, officially our second year anniversary, because the very first episode of Moon Magic and Mindfulness with Grace was on Lionsgate in 2021. Yay! So excited. I just realized I don't have my bell, but it's okay. So, very excited. We can definitely talk about that, but if you're an astrology bestie, then you might have already seen in your content that, you know, the Lionsgate portal or Lionsgate magic is all about manifesting and it's all about abundance, but we're here to talk about the moon, and we will. And it's I'm excited to add into it the element of abundance, because even if you think you're not, listen, if you're online with a mobile device, able to check in and hang out and comment and send love and participate, then you're already abundant, because you probably have so much love in your life and you're able to make it here, to use this technology that is at our fingertips, at our disposal, to share in community and to do all of these things. So let's talk about the moon in the month of August. As always, I am in astroseek.com, where I look at everything. In astroseek.com, you can check out the daily chart, and then you can also check out where the moon is, and you can also do your birth chart yourself. Just, you know, play around, but it is kind of a different language. So this is part of what's interesting about it. So we're starting the week with that moon in Leo, and by tonight, this moon is in Virgo. Of course, I don't know when you're watching, so you can always check out then, but it's going to be in Virgo until Wednesday, and by Thursday it goes into Libra. So the thing about Wednesday, though, is that we have the sun in Leo sextiling Jupiter. And a sextile is not like a retrograde. It's not like a square, and it's not like any other what's the word, interaction, if you will, or aspect, planetary aspect, that is any negative. On the contrary, it is super fun and beneficial aspect. So Wednesday, which is Mercury Day, ruled by Mercury, this is happening in the sky. So I feel like it's that perfect opportunity, that's the 7th, to really ponder what is it that I want to manifest, to bring to life, which you could have already thought about those things in that new moon yesterday or even a few days before. See, the thing about these planetary aspects that we've brought up many times before is that we have that window of opportunity. A few days before or a few days after the moon, you can still do the thing. And in my opinion, you can do it anytime because it all works for your benefit and for the benefit of all in the right timing. We do our best to meet the universe halfway, to kind of do our part in the things that we are asking, because we are asking. It's like, oh, it would be so great if we could do this. If you don't think that that statement is an ask, then I don't know, but I do think that that's an ask. If I just put it out into the universe, if I blow the little dandelion thinking of all the wishes, because every little seed is a wish, so be careful what you wish for. Be careful about that karmic debt that you're stacking up by all the wishes you're making. And that's a little line that you can look up in terms of, karmic cycles or karmic debt, and how wishes just should not run rampage. So watch what you're wishing for, right? Or who you're wishing it for, and do it all for the benefit of all, right? And with harm to none. And so if I'm blowing that dandelion and making all these wishes, then the least I can do is think about what can I do to get me one step closer to that one thing that the universe is holding for me somewhere at some point in time, hopefully in my lifetime, right? And that question of that one thing can also be poised in different times and for different purposes. Like, what is the one thing I need to focus on today? What is the one thing that you want to make sure that you're going to do this week? This week I will make sure to do this one thing because I just cannot forget it. It's important. It matters to me. And so with manifesting, I feel like it's the same way. And if I were to give you an example, I like to use my own examples, right? I try very hard not to walk the talk, but to just experiment in the things that we sometimes discuss and bring up. And that is, when I decided that we weren't going to make the garden beds that I wanted to create in this property, and then we started talking about moving, I said, well, I really want to do the garden beds right now. Obviously, right? If I want to garden, I don't want to wait. I want to do it right now. We all know that waiting is not my strong suit. And so to kind of practice that chill, what can we do today? It's gonna come, it's gonna happen. How are we gonna build those steps to get there? I decided to get 2 books and start reading on garden beds and seeds and what can we grow. And if we want to move to this place, what garden number code is that, and what kind of plants grow there, things like that. And so I'm already ahead, if you will, because whenever we get to a place where I can make my garden beds, I already know what I want, what I can plant, or what to do. So that's a way that you do your part to then see what the universe sends your way, what comes about, what manifests, etc. Now, of course, if you want to get into not real manifestation, but like deep, I guess, right? Serious manifesting, then there's other techniques that you can engage in. And one of them is writing your manifestations in your journal. This is what I've been doing since I was a teenager. And so, some of the things that I've journaled have absolutely come to life. They have absolutely happened. But have they taken forever? Yes, they have. So, the moon will be in Libra until Saturday. And so Libra is an air sign ruled by Venus. Venus is also conjunct Mercury on Mercury Day. So it's It sounds very pleasant. It sounds like the opportunity to really have that lovey-dovey conversation or to sustain those boundaries in any relationship that you just don't want to engage in. So ponder that. And then after Libra, we have the moon in Scorpio on Sunday. And we start the week next week with a moon in Scorpio, which means moody madness all around. So how does that sound? It does sound like a lot of drama to me, but I'm pretty sure that we can do it together. Cecilia is in the room and Ron is in the room. Welcome. Good evening. How are you doing? How was your weekend? I am so grateful that you're here. And also, I'm grateful that it stopped storming because little Debbie, I mean, I'm not going to say she really did a number on us because we get rain and we get thunder, but tornado warning all day long with like consistent wind, man, it's been a while. And that was very stressful. So that's the week for you all. Let's go quickly to the list of things that I put together, even though I pretty much brought them up already. And you can let me know in the chat if you want an oracle card, because I have them right here and I love to share. I also want to share a book with you. But in my book, we have affirmations for the week. So here's ours for this week. I honor stability and determination, shedding what no longer serves me. There's that waxing crescent, and when the moon is gaining in light after the new moon, this is the time to do that shadow work. This is the time to really ponder, because in doing the shadow work, in shedding light into what you need to be aware of to then take care of, is how you then release what no longer serves you, and then you clean up, cleanse, and make room for what's coming. And the new moon is about that darkness where you plant that seed. It's about manifesting. So if you want to plant seeds of, I want to have the best vacation next weekend, if you want to plant seeds of, I want to have the least dramatic week, if you want to plant seeds of, by the end of the week, I need this project done, I need this conversation done, I need to finish this or this or that. There's that moon in Virgo wanting to finish this and this or that. If you want to do those things, then those are the opportunities to take care of something in order to make space for what you're wanting to bring into your life. So I honor stability and determination, shedding what no longer serves me, paving the way for a new cycle, rich with creativity. There's that Leo, and enthusiastic energy. And then let's discuss the, yes, Ron, tornadoes are no joke. Let's discuss the questions and the affirmation for that new moon yesterday. So if you haven't done your journaling, you still got time, babe. You're fine. It doesn't matter when you see this. If you see this on the Lion's Gate of 2025, you still got time to do the new moon, because there's going to be a new moon in August of next year. It's not going to be in Leo, but all of these questions are meant for your good and for your development, so you can do them anytime. Question number 1. Think of qualities, that resonate with that lion. Think of qualities such as self-assurance, loyalty, creativity, leadership. How can you embody these in your daily life? And so that's an invitation to ponder. Where in your environment, where in your relationships, where in your job or work, where in your life are you feeling a little bit scaredy cat? Where are you feeling like you're walking on eggshells? Ugh, that feeling. Ugh, I hate feeling like I have to walk on eggshells. And if you know, what that's like. And so walking on eggshells, feeling that you need to walk on eggshells, is exactly the type of clue that tells you that you need to communicate, or that you need to change something, or that something has to happen in order for this discomfort or this source of fear to lose its power, and for you to take your power back. And sometimes having that interaction is dangerous, right? Or even life threatening. And so all in good faith, and I know how hard it is to put those two things together, or to stand up confidently, or to speak up. And you may not be in a position where you can or even want to at this time, but you can always observe and take mental notes and decide, and set yourself, deadlines, and act according to what resonates and what really feels like it's burning a fire in your soul, because that's what the sun in Leo wants in order for you to be proud of these feelings and decisions. So that's a heavy one, but a very necessary conversation to have with yourself, not just now, but always, right? How might you enhance your confidence, warmth, and generosity in your relationships and personal endeavors over the coming month? I feel like that's a very personal question when it comes to generosity, but generosity is not just about money. Absolutely not. So don't just get hung up on, I am generous because I pay this and this and this and this, right? Or I am generous because I take care of our family, or I am generous because, I gift all my friends. Like, it's not about that. It's about generosity of spirit, generosity of an open mind, generosity of temperance, a generosity of patience, generosity of kindness, generosity, all these other things that we don't really think about sometimes, or that we think about in retrospect, right? It's very easy to point out when someone has been unkind, but not so easy to point out, how to be kind to begin with, or the fact that we have been unkind. So, a generosity of breaks. Is that what you need? Do you need do you need breaks generously? Then maybe that's something to ask the universe. I really do need time off. Can you help? Right? How can you help? What can I do to help you help me get what I want? Have you ever pondered those questions before? Because clearly I have. Okay. Affirmations from this new moon. I welcome this energy, infusing my life with warmth, generosity, and a sense of noble pride, as I create a vibrant and expressive path forward. I align with the enterprising spirit of confidence, setting intentions for positive personal growth and self-development. That may feel heavy, but it doesn't have to be. And I like to talk about confidence, because then I have to think about how to show up. What does that even mean? What does that even look like, right? And sometimes showing up confidently may be just you getting up and doing the thing and doing the day. It's not necessarily about dressing up. It's not necessarily about putting yourself together a certain way in order to then show up a certain way, even though it is Leo season. So all of the allure of a mask and all of the allure of extravagance and being out there is brought to the surface, whether you're ready for it or not. And if you're not ready for it, then, like I said last week, you're going to feel that discomfort. You're going to feel like you don't belong, because other peers that may feel a little bit more confident than you will not hesitate to express themselves, even if they're wrong. And so I'm 100% certain that whatever you're keeping inside or that you're insecure about is super cool and should be shared. So maybe you could do it this month. That would be super cool. And if this inspires you to share something that you haven't shared before, share with the class, please tag me so that we can all share together. I'll send it to the besties and we can all support you because that's what we're here for. So, yay. Yay, us. We made it to our 2-year anniversary. I'm so grateful and so happy. So, thank you again. Now, let's do that meditation, shall we? This music is brought to you by Brain FM. If you're new here, we finish every conversation with a short meditation where I just guide you into some breath work. We like to tap into that vagus nerve that's right here in between your diaphragm and your stomach. There's that vagus nerve and it connects to the whole nervous system, and it's meant to settle your body, which if you've been in survival mode, if you've been fatigued, if you've been in high stress mode as of late with little Debbie or not, the politics and all that, then actively engaging your vagus nerve, engaging your vagus nerve on purpose will set you down, will hopefully, right? Don't take my word for it. Just experiment and consult your doctor and do your due diligence, right? Find out if you should be doing this, if you have asthma or something like that. So those are the things to consider. But I guide you into some breath work. Just breathe in and out. If you're pregnant, especially, don't hold your breath if you're pregnant. And then we do these affirmations to kind of set ourselves up for a nice, relaxing evening. And music for your meditation is brought to you by Brain FM. Find the free trial in the link. Music for your brain. I've been using them for 3 years now. So a whole year before we started this, I've already used them. Unguided meditation, and we love the chimes and bowls. So here we are. So settle down. If you're driving, do not close your eyes. And follow my lead as I guide you into some breath work to relax and settle in. With me, take a deep breath in through your nose. Nice and slow, deep breath in through your nose. Hold it at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale nice and slow through your mouth. Long exhale. Hold it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And inhale through your nose. Deep, 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 slow inhale. All the way till you have no air. Hold it at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale nice and slow through your mouth. And as you exhale and you relax into this exhale, imagine the darkest, deepest, most starry-eyed sky you have ever seen. No moon, just a tiny, tiny, tiny smile as this waxing crescent slowly gains in light. And in this moment and in this stillness, you are completely and utterly at peace. And with me, slowly take a deep breath in through your nose Deep breath in. Hold it at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale nice and slow through your mouth. Hold it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And relax. And as you relax and settle into your breath, slowly and steadily breathing in and out. Remember some of the things that you are really trying to manifest. I welcome this energy, infusing my life with warmth, generosity, and a sense of noble pride. I create a vibrant and expressive way forward. I align with the enterprising spirit of confidence, setting intentions for positive personal growth. I honor stability and determination, shedding what no longer serves me, paving the way for a new cycle filled with the creative energy. I am safe. I am loved. I am guided. I am protected. With me, take one last deep breath in through your nose. Deep, deep, deep breath in all the way till you have no air or no room. Hold it at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale nice and slow through your mouth. Long extended exhale, nice and slow till you run out of air. Hold it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and relax. And as you relax, slowly bring your attention to your body. Slowly open your eyes and come back to me. I don't have my bell, but we can go ahead and return to the space with a finger snap, which is actually a way to ground if you feel like you're a bit stressed or in your head and you are in the habit of snapping your fingers with music. You might like it for grounding purposes. So what do you think? You're welcome. Thank you so much, Cecilia. Cece says, happy anniversary. We started the live and I didn't even realize it. And then I started talking about Lionsgate and it brought me back. I mean, do you remember? Do you remember that first episode on that app, which shall not be mentioned, where I had a hat and a red shirt and a Coke, Coca-Cola, that is. And we were celebrating launching this amazing conversation and sharing time and getting to talk about the moon on Lionsgate. So thank you so much if you were there. I remember Ron was there and I think Peter was there. So thank you. Oh my gosh, you've been watching this for 2 years. How epic is that? A round of applause to you. So thank you for being here. And I love you all so much, and I will see you next Moon Day. Bye, y'all.